Hi everyone, welcome to English Literature Lyceum. So, this is the third video in the previous year's question video series. So, let's move to the first question. The novel tells the story of twin brothers, Waldo, the man of reason and intellect, and Arthur, the innocent half wit. The way their lives are inextricably intertwined. Which is the novel? The Tree of Man, Bose, the Solid Mandala, the Vivisector. The right answer is the Solid Mandala. Let me give an outline of this novel. This novel, The Solid Mandala, was written by a Nobel Prize winning Australian author Patrick White and published in the year 1966. In this novel, Waldo and Arthur are twin brothers who embody opposing aspects of human nature. That is, Waldo represents intellect and logic, while Arthur is intellectually inferior but warm hearted and inducive. And this contrast between two reflects Patrick White's concern with the duality of human existence, that is, reason versus emotion, logic versus intuition, and isolation versus connection. But at the end of the story, it is Arthur who emerges as a more enlightened figure, showing that intelligence alone is not enough to truly understand life. This novel was set in the fictional suburb of Sarsaparilla, which is based on the Sydney suburb of Castle Hill, where Patrick White lived with his partner. So, the right answer for this question is option 3, the solid mandala. Moving to the second question, Dylan Thomas' famous poem Fern Hill is named after a countryside in Austria to which he paid occasional visits, a childhood haunt of the poet's family in Devonshire, the Welsh farmhouse where the poet spent summer holidays as a boy, the Welsh African church to which the young poet used to be taken by his mother. The right answer is option 3, the Welsh farmhouse where the poet spent summer holidays as a boy. Fern Hill is a poem by the Welsh poet Dylan Thomas, first published in Horizon magazine in October 1945, and it appeared in book form in 1946. And the poem is named after the farm owned by his maternal aunt Anne Jones. Next question, match the characters with the work. In the first column, character names were given, and in the second column, the name of the works were given. So you have to match the character names with the corresponding work. Pip, Casaubon, Becky Sharp, Heathcliff in the first column, and in the second column, Middlemarch, Great Expectations, Wuthering Heights, and Vanity Fair. The right combination according to the code is the right answer is option 3. That is Pip from Great Expectations, Casaubon from Middlemarch, Becky Sharp from Vanity Fair, Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights. Let's discuss the answers in detail. There is Philip Pirrip, called Pip, is a protagonist and narrator in Charles Dickens' novel Great Expectation. So Pip is a character from Great Expectations. Second one, Casaubon. Casaubon is a pompous and intellectual middle-aged scholar who marries the heroine of the novel Middlemarch, that is Dorothea Brooke, because he needs an assistant for his work. So Casaubon is from Middlemarch. Becky Sharp, also known as Rebecca Becky Sharp, later describing herself as Rebecca Lady Crawley, is the main protagonist of William Makepeace Thackeray's novel Vanity Fair. And finally, Heathcliff, we all know that he's the main protagonist and anti hero in Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Fourth question. Identify the special sound effect in the line given. Wind oozing thin through the thorn from nowhere. Alliteration, onomatopoeia, assonance, the use of sibilants. The right answer is option 1, alliteration. Here we can see the repetition of the th sound in the thin, through, and thorn. And this line is taken from the poem The Voice by Thomas Hardy. Moving to the next question. Festi is a clown in option 1, Twelfth Night, option 2, As You Like It, option 3, The Taming of the Shrew, option 4, Much Ado About Nothing. The right answer is option 1, Twelfth Night. Here, Festi is a fool or royal jester attached to the household of the Countess Olivia. Next question. Haunted castles, strange noises, and an acceptance of the supernatural with all its trappings mark option 1, metafiction, option 2, fantasy fiction, option 3, epistolary fiction, option D, gothic fiction. The right answer is gothic fiction. Let's discuss the different types of fiction given here. First one is metafiction. Metafiction is a form of fiction that emphasizes its own narrative structure in a way that reminds the audience that they are reading a fictional work. One such example of metafiction is that If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino. This work is a perfect example of metafiction. And second one is fantasy fiction. Fantasy fiction is a genre set in a magical world, often featuring mythical creatures, supernatural elements, and epic quests. And some of the examples of fantasy fiction were The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling, and Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. Third one is epistolary fiction. Epistolary fiction is a form of fiction in which the narrative told primarily through letters, diaries, emails, or other forms of written communication rather than a traditional narrative voice. And some of the examples of epistolary novels were Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Dracula by Bram Stoker, and The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Last one is Gothic fiction. Gothic fiction, sometimes called Gothic horror or Gothic romanticism. It is a literary genre of fiction with elements of fear, horror, death, and gloom, as well as romantic elements such as nature, individuality, and very high emotion. And some of the famous examples of Gothic fiction were The Castle of Otranto by Horace Walpole, The Mistress of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and Dracula by Bram Stoker. So these are some of the examples of Gothic fiction. So here in this question, the correct answer is Gothic fiction. Seventh one. Which of the following was not a dialect of Old English? Irish, Northumbrian, Mercian, Kentish. The right answer is first one, Irish. Because the four dialects of the Old English language were Northumbrian, Mercian, Kentish, and West Saxon. So the right answer is first option. Let's move to the next question. What term used by Ferdinand de Saussure corresponds to Noam Chomsky's term performance? Difference, parole, paradigm, lang. The right answer is option 2, parole. Saussure divided language into lang and parole, and Chomsky has taken up that dichotomy and distinguishes between competence and performance. So, performance corresponds to, or the term used by Ferdinand de Saussure, that is parole, corresponds to Noam Chomsky's term performance. Next question. From whose work did John Milton take the epigraph to his Areopagitica. Sophocles, Euripides, Plato, More. More is Thomas More. The right answer is option 2, Euripides. Milton's Areopagitica begins with a quote from Euripides' play The Suppliants, which asserts that true liberty lies in the freedom of speech, a sentiment Milton uses to argue against censorship and for the liberty of unlicensed printing. Areopagitica by John Milton was published in 1644 to protest an order issued by Parliament the previous year requiring government approval and licensing of all published books. So here right answer is Euripides. Last question in this video. Which of the following poets wrote the essay Naipul's India and Mine? Kamaladas, R. Parthasarathi, A.K. Ramanujam, Nissim Isikal. The right answer is option 4, Nissim Isikal. Nissim Isikal wrote the 1984 essay Naipul's India and Mine as a reply to Naipul's book An Area of Darkness. Here you have to note one thing. Naipur's book is An Area of Darkness. Shashi Tharoor wrote a book with a similar title, that is An Era of Darkness, in 2016. So, An Area of Darkness is written by Naipur and Era of Darkness is written by Shashi Tharoor. That's all with this video. Thank you.